Welcome to productivity session number 4. If you're just joining us right now, we have an amazing subject to cover today. The topic is actually advising clients on innovative strategies on trade-ups and trade-outs. Before I introduce the panelists, I want to level set the discussion today. So we're living in a very uncertain and ambiguous time right now where work from home is a new norm, and a lot of people are assessing their home situations even more. They're looking for knowledgeable agents to help them with their trade-ups to a larger home, or even the trade-downs to a newer area or a better cost of living. We actually have amazing side partners that they'll be sharing with us and advising their clients in traversing these tricky transactions often these days, and then they will actually providing their innovative new solutions. So some new takeaways, how do these innovations benefit their clients and their business? And as they take their business, like what's the better directions with that and why? And actionable advice and how they best position their clients for success during the pandemic. So I'm going to actually let them introduce themselves. They're going to state their name, their team, when they join Side, and where they sell real estate. So we actually have Kelly, and then we have Kevin.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly Griggs. I am co-founder of Navigate Realty in El Dorado Hills and Placerville, or just above the Sacramento area. And I'm actually one of the founding agent partners with Side. So I've been here for a little over 3.5 years now. Super excited. And during that time, I've had amazing growth. I went from 20 million in sales to 100 million in sales in just that 3.5 years with Side.
That's awesome.
Thank you, Kelly.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Kevin Cruz, founder, CEO of Kinetic Real Estate. I've been in business for almost 5 years now. August will be my 5th year. August 15th will be my 5th year into real estate. Full-time for 4 years. Right now, I have a total team of 7 people, 7 agents. I joined Side about last year. I think I was like the 80th partner with Side. And since then, my business doubled up.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's crazy how much Kevin has accomplished within a short period of time. And yes, Kelly's one of the originals. So let's just get into it. So one of the things I want to ask you both is, what are your innovative strategies? And then what types of tools have you guys equipped yourself with to better position your guys' clients for success?
Yeah,
Kelly, you can start first.
Sure. So, we kind of hit a little bumpy road with COVID, and then we quickly adjusted and actually fared incredibly well through the bulk of the shelter in place. One of the coolest things that we implemented is that we were able to be chosen as one of the people who launched the Homelight TradeIn program. And I promise you, I do not have stock in the company, although I probably should, but I am a huge fan of what they're doing there. So they're selecting the best agents to launch a new product that will allow a client to buy before they sell. So I want you guys to think about what kind of environment we're in right now, where we've got a lot of easy button, cash out, there's the Zillow, there's Redfin, Open Door, where the client is just hitting an easy button and getting a little bit of maybe 90% on average, 86% of that home's value. What we're doing is we are allowing them to go out and shop with us, find their dream home, and then we buy, Homelight buys, their existing house at the exact same time. And they're saving about 10% of the proceeds into a savings account. And then we go in and we do a full makeover. So it's usually the basics like carpet, paint, stage, and then take that property to market. They get to take their time moving out of their house into their new house without any stress or any pressure. And then I list their house on the open market, and I'm generally selling that house for significantly more than they would have sold in a fire sale. And so whatever is left, whatever the upside is, then that customer gets a check as well after close of escrow for an additional amount, plus whatever is left in their savings account. So I think that has really given us an edge up over our competition.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Hook me up.
I did hook you up. And I'm trying to hook up all of our other side partners because they are limiting access to just one person per region. So if you guys get a call from them and they mention my name, I want you to sell them. Don't think that they need to sell you. It's a phenomenal opportunity that I want all of our partners to get in on.
Got it.
Kevin?
Cool. So my innovative strategy during this unprecedented times is I built my business based on vertical integration. So I started real estate, I mentioned earlier, almost 5 years ago now, about 5 years ago. And 3 years ago, I co-founded a home staging company, interior designing company called Millennial Design Studio. We started at one storage, and it became two, and it became four storage. Then we got a 1,500 square foot warehouse. We made that 3-story, and now we have a 4,000 square foot warehouse that's 3 stories. So it's about 12,000 square feet. We can do something about 30 to 40 homes per month right now. So right now we have 26 stage properties right now currently. So that's Millennial Design Studio. It's not just all for me. It's for we're actually one of the main vendors for Compass and other real estate companies. Around the Bay Area, right? I wish all of them are mine, I wish all of them.
Can't have them all, Kevin.
I'm not that crazy yet, but so that's one. And 2.5 years ago, I also co-founded a moving company and storage company called Clutch Moving Company. So right now we currently, after 2 years, we currently have 5 trucks right now operating. We do intrastate only, and we have 20 employees full-time movers, and 2 virtual assistants in the Philippines and 1 VP of operations. And this year, beginning of the year 2020, I started an Airbnb short-term rental business. So right now, well, because of COVID, we only have 6 properties right now listed, but our goal was to have like 50 this year. I remember slow down because of COVID. So those are the things that I use for our clients, because keep in mind, most of the sellers, most of the buyers, they're just extremely busy. They work full time, they have family, they have kids. We want to do everything for them. And instead of the seller looking for a mover, looking for storage, I have everything right away for them. And I give them the right expectation. I already know exactly how much it's going to cost them. So that way they have the figure already. And keep in mind, most of the sellers, what did I look for? Like, how much can you sell? What is my take home? Most of them, right? And I can give that to them right away based on everything that they need, And on top of that, I also have a vendors list of partners of people that are contractors from handyman, licensed handyman, things like that. So we do literally everything from start to finish from the client, regardless of what it is. So I'm like the resource of real estate. That's my
like an all-inclusive package, basically.
Yeah, all in, exclusive. Yeah, all in.
All in.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Awesome. And Kelly, related to your innovative strategy and your partnership with Homelight, how does that compare with iBuying and like Open Door and all the other companies that are doing iBuying?
Well, that's one of the interesting things about Homelight is that it's not just trade-in. I also have the iBuy program. If a seller just says, hey, I want out now, I can push that button too. So we're offering a huge offering from a traditional sale. And a lot of times they'll call me and they'll say, hey, John Smith wants to take part of our trade-in. So I will run to that house, sit down and do a full listing presentation and find out which opportunity works best for them. Maybe it's a traditional sale, maybe it's a cash out, iBuy sale, and maybe it's a trade-in. So I don't just sell one thing. It's really what fits best for that particular client.
That's amazing. And due to, of course, COVID, what are some of the new tactics and strategies that you have implemented in order to kind of help you pivot during this pandemic?
Yeah. So one of the things that we did early on was we upped our game here for the website. So we added, we've always had Matterport and that 3D tour, but then we did a walk around the house. Before we were doing video just like everybody else, but we did a video without music and we walked around the property as well. We looked at the roof line, we looked down, we kind of gave them a street scene so they could really take it in. And then we just did a quick little jot form where they needed to upload a non-binding offer on that property before we would even show it to them. So on a particularly hot property in Folsom, California, we had something like 3,000 hits on that initial 3-day website launch. And then what we did is when someone wanted to see it, they needed to verify that they had toured the property virtually. And then they also needed to make sure that we saw that their client read the entire disclosure package, all the reports, all the inspections. And after they did those 2 things, then we would schedule an appointment. On that particular property, we really only had 4 showings, which resulted in 3 offers. So we really hammered down because that family had children. One of the kids had asthma, and we just didn't want to bring people through unless they were serious buyers. We had a lot of offers, non-binding offers that were coming in low. So it was really those people who knew that they had to compete over asking that got to get in and see it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And considering that, like with your strategy, Kevin, I'm for sure you've had your struggles with certain people having limited budget. And considering that you're offering this all-inclusive package, what was like with them having high results? How do you achieve this with including all your inclusive type of businesses with your sale?
So for majority of my sellers, when they want to, like trade out, which majority of them are leaving the Bay Area right now. They want to move to Sacramento. That's one of the main places that they want to move into. Yeah. Most of them, they need help with, even not just help with moving costs. They need help with the staging costs. They need help with cosmetic work. So I usually upfront everything. And normally with staging, a lot of companies, they don't allow you to, pay after close of escrow, or maybe just pay half. I do full. The seller can reimburse me after escrow, even with moving, even with storaging, cosmetic. It just really helps them, and I'm kind of in their mind. They think I'm putting my skin in the game. That's basically what's happening. I'm taking the risk. It makes them feel more confident, like the fact that I'm doing that for them. So that's one of the things that I do. Yeah. I mean, I don't go all the way with like, like construction work or anything like that. It's just mainly touch-ups, cosmetic. It's pretty similar to what Redfin is doing. Yeah.
And with that, how much does that take away from your business? Because since you had to juggle both those multiple companies that you're managing and you're co-founding.
Good question. So there's something called sweat equity and check equity, right? Sweat equity is something that you work on a day-to-day basis, operational and sales, right? Real estate is my only sweat equity amongst all those companies. So what I do is if somebody is good at something, we'll figure out a business together. My friend Noel, he was very good at interior designing. He used to have a showroom in San Francisco called Stuff. He was in Storage Wars, and he was an antique dealer. And I approached him to do staging, and we tried it out one time. He enjoyed it, and he went all the way now. He runs the entire operations. He runs the entire business. But we co-founded the company together. So with moving company, that's basically the same thing. What happened with Airbnb business? My partner right now, Les Rowan, he manages over 105 homes in the Bay Area, working for another corporation. So I come across like, why don't we just do it ourselves? I can find landlords who can do it, who wants to Airbnb their home. They don't want to sell their home. They want to pass it on to their kids or in the future, right? Future generation, but they don't want to sell. So let's just do Airbnb for them. And he has the expertise, for someone who can manage 105 homes, that's a lot of homes, and that's all short-term rentals, that's not even property management. We don't do property management. That's out of my reach. But that's check equity and sweat equity. I basically use my resources, what's around me. I find talent, and that's we form something together that benefits each other.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this is really great, and I think this is something that we definitely need to cover. What is like the biggest challenges along the way of building and actually assessing these like new innovations?
Me or
both of you two.
Okay.
I think taking the time to identify what the problem is. And then, the biggest problem is I have so many people who want to move out of the state, or they want to move into a new home, and they just don't want to do the work. So the biggest thing is listening to the needs of the consumer and finding ways to shift your business to meet those needs. We had to stop everything when COVID hit to figure out how do we best serve our seller by protecting them from just having a million people, run through the house, which was submitting a non-binding offer. I don't think anyone in our industry over here was doing anything remotely like that just to be able to get a showing. Yeah. So we sit down and we talk as a team and we identify what the problems are, and we talk about them, and then we try to find solutions. So I think that just making the time is the first step, is, sitting down with your team and saying, hey, what are your struggles? What are you guys seeing in the industry? Mm-hmm. And then how do we address that?
Nice. Kevin?
To me, it's, I think the mental capacity, that's probably the most challenging for me. No, seriously, because think about it, you're dealing with employees, even though you don't work, even though you don't do the day-to-day operations in all those companies besides real estate, right? It's still in the back of your head, right? And there's always going to be issues running, like real estate, moving, staging, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be issues coming up. I don't care what because we're dealing with people, like we're dealing with clients, we're dealing with people, we're dealing with partners, employees, like it's always going to be a headache. And I think mental capacity is probably the most challenging for me. Had to do like the woosah, like just calm down. I have a short fuse, and I want things done a certain way. And I just wish there's no problems, but that's never going to happen. Right. But you just get better at it, controlling yourself and just really, have a reset.
Yeah, and considering with all these challenges, the pandemic is basically one of the biggest challenges that we're facing this year. How has that impacted your staging company?
Staging, it actually went really well.
Oh,
it actually tripled in us. Let me tell you why. Okay, so let me tell everybody why. So, back then it was a lot easier to sell properties, right? Sometimes you don't even have to stage a property, it will sell. I remember it from 2016 when I started real estate up until before COVID. Everything was just like, between 5 to 15 days on market, everything will sell, right? Like, because the market was just really hot. And with COVID happen, it's becoming a little bit more challenging now, especially in the peninsula, because tech people are leaving. A lot of people are leaving the Bay Area because, they can get the same pay grade anywhere in the world, when they work anywhere. So they'd rather just save money, right? Somewhere else, have a lesser expenses, living expenses and a mortgage or rent, right? And it's a little bit more challenging now. And one of the things a staging company can do, and everybody knows it's a proven fact, that if the property is vacant, the property is staged, it will sell faster and it will sell for more. That's Absolutely. Just proven. And everybody, I remember virtual staging, it became a thing, And I personally
it didn't, but okay.
Over here, it actually did over here for a little bit.
Yeah, it tried to here, but didn't.
It's becoming more popular here, and good thing. I didn't believe in it personally. I think it's pretty deceiving in my opinion. Because when somebody sees it online, the state, it looks really good, and they walk in there, it's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I'd love to follow up on that and just say, you are a machine, my friend. What you're doing with your vertical integration is really impressive.
Thank you.
I'm super excited to learn more about what you're doing, especially how you took advantage of the Airbnb opportunity. And one thing I would just say to our side partners that are watching this is that Kevin's a machine. And if you don't have all of that energy and capacity to focus on leverage, find partners that you can say, hey, look, I'm going to direct all of my staging business to you. And I just need you to give me top priority. And instead of trying to launch it all at one time, find relationships with people who are going to support your business. And work a little bit more closely with your partners to try and get more love. That's what I've done. So I'm offering all of those same services without actually having an upside like you, but I have the benefit of knowing that my customer is going to get very well taken care of, and I can get them from A to Z with ease. And I just focus more on that sale, right? Being good at one thing, not 200 like you.
Well,
I wish I had your energy.
no, well, yeah, I have a good team. I have a good partners. Yeah, it took me a while to get that.
Yeah.
And along the lines of that same questions with staging, Kevin, because you have a couple different vertical integrations, how about your Airbnb actual company itself, Connect Living? Like, how was that impacted during COVID?
It impacted a lot actually. So before COVID, we were supposed to have 16 signed properties ready for Airbnb, but we had to cancel almost 80% of it. So right now we're left with 6 left, and the occupancy, like the occupancy rate used to be like 80 to 90% for us. Daly City. We don't touch San Francisco because it requires a lot of permitting. Sure, it's a separate department. It's called STR. But we do Peninsula mainly, and some East Bay and Santa Clara. But it used to be 80 to 90%, and it went down to like 40 to 50%. So the general rule of thumb of Airbnb when we pitch it to our clients is like, the typical rent for example, Daly City, the typical average rent here is 4,000, right? For a 3-bedroom and 2-bath, right? Where we're at. Typically with Airbnb, you're supposed to get 1.5. Okay, 1.5. So the tenant after the landlord, after the management fee that we charge and all that, they're supposed to get 6,000. But now with occupancy rate of 40 to 60%, they're basically breaking even. So it slowed down a lot.
So you're not profitable on this model yet.
Not yet. We're the break even point right now for Airbnb. We were profitable before COVID.
Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully.
And what about the staging business? Are you profitable on that at this time?
Yes, we are. We are profitable this time. So we partner up with another staging company, because she's really busy. So she gives us a lot of her clients.
Oh, that's good.
We partner together. Yeah. So that's where we're getting all these opportunities. Besides, the fact that my listings, and other agents, we have her as well that gives us, a referral. We do everything, and we also share furnitures with her. So it's profitable. It's profitable. I think it's. I don't know. Do you want numbers, or is it?
Yeah, always. All of us want numbers. We're numbers junkies.
Right now, we're probably grossing probably about 70 to 80K right now per month. Net will probably be about 50. That's probably what's averagely right now. That's probably what we're making. It can go for more, obviously, but it's only my partner who's handling everything. We haven't even expanded yet. Hired a person who's gonna, like another interior designer. My partner is what do you call that? He likes to do it all himself. It's a good thing and a bad thing, but it's he likes to do it. He's more hands-on.
That's great.
And since you're in a different market, Kevin, like with Kelly's in Sacramento and that location, you've actually ventured into kind of like the staging itself too. How has that affected you during the pandemic, Kelly?
Well, I partnered with another side partner, Kim Casimir at Move. And so I don't take any kind of a cut from the staging, but what she'll do is she'll offer me a better price if I am staging and paying for that as a service for my customer. And the difference is that Kim has an amazing eye. And she knows exactly what the space needs. I've hired other stagers before, and they just didn't quite nail it for me. And I think that the staging is probably the most important part for our media, right? Is to have that. I don't know if you guys have ever had a bad stage job where the pictures are too high and the furniture is too small for the room, and you just had your client spend all this money and it didn't work out. So I think vetting the right partner is key to our success. So thank you, Kim.
It's amazing. another question for both of you. When is a good time to take on these new innovations, and then how do you tackle it?
So I'll answer that one because I'm a little bit different. I think Kevin and I were the perfect matchup. So
Yeah.
because I'm really about the one thing. I'm about doing one thing really well. Sometimes I'll get a flip opportunity and I want to take it, and I'm like, I could make 100,000, or I could make 25 and move on to the next deal, right?
Yeah.
So I'm about doing one thing right, and I think Kevin is like taking a little bit of everything. Would you say, Kevin? Maybe?
Yes. Personally, me, I like building. I like forming. I like building something. That's just. I don't know. I get the excitement from it. So yeah, we are completely different. Yeah, but it's yeah. I like building companies. That's I
Mhm.
like knowing that even though I'm not doing all the work, like on one company, I just I enjoy seeing it grow.
Yeah.
Sure.
I enjoy seeing it grow, but like if my only sweat equity is really just real estate. That's what I do at
Yeah.
the end of the day. I have a showing after this. Yeah, I have a showing. I'm having lunch with another client. Yeah, I have 4 signings tomorrow. I have to go to, that's what I like to do. That's because that's what brought everything to me is really real estate. Yeah, I mean, with all those companies, right? It all ties into real estate still.
That is true.
Like if real estate goes down, everything goes down. I'm
It'll
just
never go
saying
down.
it's true. Like that's how I'm seeing it. Like, but I'm
Yeah.
sure it's not gonna go down. But I'm just saying, I'm just putting things in perspective. Yeah.
Well, we're about to wrap up here. So I have a last question for both you two. Based upon your experience, can you give your peers a couple pointers if they're deciding to adopt any of your guys' innovations and your strategies? We can start with Kevin first,
Yeah. So for me,
or
I would
Kelly.
quickly get on. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I thought ladies first.
Kelly, there we go.
I thought that I would just quickly do research on the Homelight TradeIn program. It is amazing, a limited opportunity and space, and really educate yourself on the process. I think partnering with them for this particular product and the cash out, they do offer a commission for the iBuy, which is wonderful, and just adding some more resources and some more tools to your tool belt.
Nice.
I would second that. Thanks, Kelly, for introducing me to Homelight. Thank you. I owe you for that. When I go down to Sacramento, I'll let you know.
Or you just got to
Yeah,
send your clients this way.
we'll do. We'll do. So yeah, it's gonna happen. And I love the trading program. This is like the 3rd time I met with the person that you introduced me to, and I have a few more calls with them. I learned a whole lot about it. I already introduced it to my team. But one thing I would advise everybody, honestly, it's just don't give up. I always learned that just double down on everything that you're doing, especially during COVID. During adversity, this is when a lot of superstars are made during adversity, and just double down on calls, double down on what you're doing, double down on appointments, even if it's Zoom. Safety precautions, of course. Triple down on compassion. Check how everybody's doing. Just never give up and put more pressure to yourself. Diamonds are made under pressure, right? So yeah, just never give up. Just keep doing what you're doing.
That's awesome.
Nice. This was amazing. Thank you so much for everything, you guys. I think you guys all have a unique strategy that best, provide value to all of your clients. And I think for sure, your peers that are watching this today, they are going to ask a ton of questions with you guys during our breakout sessions. So if you guys are going to be attending the breakout session, you guys can ask Kelly or Kevin during the session in order to kind of get a little bit more information on exactly like their innovative strategies. But this was amazing. So I do thank all you guys for attending the session.
No,
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.